Hey friends, how's everything going? Welcome to another edition of Inspired by Real Estate. You know, we're a network of expert advisors dedicated to real-time information, educating and inspiring you with the inside scoop on real estate, eliminating the stress and worry about buying a house so that you can improve your lives and ultimately help you reach financial freedom. You know, whether you're buying your first house or this is your fifth house, the home buying process can create lots of emotion and stress. And one way to handle the stress is ask lots of questions. There are no dumb questions, so if you have a question, just ask. In today's episode, you know, you found our dream house, you made the offer, they accepted, now what? These are questions people ask after the contract is accepted. And typically it starts with, what's the next step? Between contract acceptance and the closing date, there are many things that need to be completed. In a nutshell, after the offer is accepted, generally any inspections will be completed. We recommend a home inspection because the expert advisors will uncover anything that you may have not noticed and the seller didn't tell you. Over the years, I've seen home inspections uncover things that have helped save the buyer thousands in repairs on undisclosed damages. Sometimes the buyer decides the problems are too much and they decide not to purchase the home. I've also seen some people skip the home inspection and later find out water damage and other problems in the house cost them thousands to repair. So after the inspection, we would complete an appraisal. The appraiser comes out to the house you want to buy and he compares it with all the other houses in the area that have sold in the last 90 days. This will tell us how much the house is worth, regardless of what the contract states. So, what if the house does not appraise for the sales price? Everybody always asks this question. We've got a couple of different options. One, you can pay the difference between the sales contract and the appraised value. Second, you can ask the seller to lower the sales price to meet the value. Or three, although it's rare, you can just walk away from the whole deal. Most of the time, the contract is written in a way to protect you from paying more than the house is worth. I mean, you don't go to McDonald's and give them a $10 for a Big Mac meal when the menu says it's $5. Our expert advisors will help you decide what's best. And when buying a home, finding the perfect home is only one part of actually becoming a homeowner. The mortgage process should already be complete at this point, but depending on how long you've been looking for a house, we may need to update some documents. We may need to lock in your interest rate and make sure that you're happy with all the terms of the mortgage. One of the questions that we get is, what is all this insurance? I see title insurance, I see mortgage insurance, homeowners insurance. Well, title insurance is the policy that ensures you own the house and all the seller's liens are paid off. The contract specifies who is paying for the title insurance. Typically, the seller pays for the title insurance, but each contract is different. And so you, the buyer, could be paying for title insurance. Typically, we're talking about 1% of the sales price. So that's $1,000 on a $100,000 sales price or $3,000 on a $300,000 sales price. You need an expert advisor on your side making sure you're protected because the seller's not just going to pay for that out of the kindness of their heart. So let's talk a little bit about mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is the insurance that you pay that covers the mortgage company in case you don't pay your mortgage payments. The cost of the mortgage insurance is paid for by you, the buyer, and the cost depends on a lot of factors. How much is your down payment? What type of loan do you have? What's your credit score? This is where an expert mortgage advisor can save you thousands of dollars. An FHA loan, for example, always has mortgage insurance regardless of the size of your down payment. A conventional type loan has mortgage insurance if you have less than 20% down. And the lower the down payment, the higher the cost of the mortgage insurance. The lower the credit score, the higher the cost of the mortgage insurance. We have a tool that compares all different types of loans and shows you the costs, and we make making that decision, which loan is easier, which loan is better. We make that process super easy for you because ultimately it's all just math. And when you look at the math, the decision becomes easy. Finally, we'll talk about homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance is like car insurance for your house. It covers theft, it covers fire, hail damage, and most importantly, risk insurance. In the event that someone is hurt on your property and they expect you to pay all their medical bills, or they just decide to sue you because you left your water hose out. Last but not least, we'll analyze the survey. This is a drawing of your house and your property lines to make sure you know what you're buying and whether your fence is in your yard or is it in your neighbor's yard. Is the pool built over any type of utility easements? Rarely do we have issues with the survey, but it is an important inspection that is done between the time that you write the contract and between the time we close. Next, let's talk about another question. Do I need a final walkthrough? As a buyer, you have the option to perform a final walkthrough. And what this means is, right before we close, you get to walk through the house and make sure everything is the same as when you first made the offer. Is a final walkthrough a requirement? Well, no, you don't have to walk through it. Is a final walkthrough encouraged? Yes, it is. Generally, when buying a home, several weeks can go by between when you last walked through the home, and lots of things can change during that time. When doing a final walkthrough, a few things you should check is to make sure that the window treatments that you negotiated are still there. No major problems like a big rip in the carpet, or the kitchen caught on fire, or was there a big hailstorm last week. We just need to make sure everything is okay before we sign on the dotted line. So another question people ask is, when is the closing date? When buying a house, the excitement level is extremely high. It's important to understand that the closing date in the purchase offer is the target closing date. Now, some mortgage companies will say that's not a guarantee. This is why communication and picking the right mortgage person is super important. Before you hire the movers and take off work, you need to know for sure what closing date is your closing date so that you can be there. And just final thoughts for you. When buying a home, be prepared and well educated, and that can make a big difference. Again, no question is a dumb question, and if you're unsure about something, just ask. The home buying process begins before you ever look at a home, and the process continues all the way through closing. When buying a home, it's critical you're on your game. Stay organized, remain focused throughout the entire process. Our expert advisors are here to help you all along the way. We can help save you thousands and take the stress out of your way. You can give me a call or shoot me a text or an email. I have one website, anthonypatton.loan, or you can send it to inspiredbyrealestate.com. Either place, comes right to me. My phone number's on there. Feel free to reach out and give me a buzz. Hope this helps, and we'll talk to you real soon.